invest hundreds of thousands into buying skins. They'd hold them for like a year, 2 years, and then those hundreds of thousands of dollars they just spent is now worth fucking hundreds of, millions, tens to twenties of millions of dollars, because they would go and they'd buy like hundreds of guns that are worth like already thousands where we are, and then they'd go and buy special editions that just to buy them cost like 75,000 if not more. I think one of the most expensive guns to sell on the Steam market, or well, not on the Steam market, but one of the Steam skins to sell was an AWP and a blue gem AK, and they both sold for like, I think the AK sold for like somewhere between 350 to 750,000, and the AWP was somewhere between 1 to 2 mil. And that's from a fucking virtual gun skin.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to do my music, man. I want to do my music. I want to work. I want to do our music, and I want our music to start going. I don't even want to do like production and get people working on our music. I want us to do our own music. That's why I bought the shit. Why? Because it means we control our music. I don't want to be one of those artists, that in 40 years we have to buy back our fucking albums. You know what I mean? I'd rather have us work on music while we're working on music. We learn what we're doing with our stuff for like recording our own shit, and once we get that going and we start releasing our own music, we can already release our own music on Spotify right now. Even if it was just between me and you.
And you and
I would just like to have, at least the drumming and bassing there. And some guitar solos. You can't really have no guitar solos in a metal song. Like, why do you think Metallica is considered rock now? Because they don't have guitar solos. like name a thrash album that you listen to, Dylan, that has no guitar solos involved. Honestly. The funny thing is if you go and you talk to like the original Big Four lineup, or well, the Big Four lineup, they're still the original. They'd all tell you that at the beginning of Metallica, if you saw Dave Mustaine playing with them as their lead, they were the fucking greatest thing ever. And now there's Kirk. And then there's Kirk Hammett.
I love how I let this player die, even though I let this player
Honestly.
live, even though I easily could have killed him, and he came back to kill me. That is betrayal of the highest order.
Honestly. No, yo, Dylan, you know what I would honestly be down to do, though? If I was able to, I would, as much as I'd like if I made money from selling albums and shit like that, I'd invest in the stock market. One of the things I would love to do is to honestly start my own guitar company. Oh no, I know that. I'm just saying it would be I'd be down in the future if that ever happens or became a possibility. I'd be down. I may not know much about making guitars, but I'd still be down. Actually, no, I take that back. I may not have made a guitar, but I've seen a lot of fucking guitar videos, like videos on people making guitars, because being poor, I was like, if I can't buy a guitar, I can at least just make my own. But no, I would honestly make a guitar company, and I would sell like mid-priced guitars that were like really fucking good for people that can't really afford like a $2,000 guitar. You know what I mean? Because there may be a lot of groups that do that, but that's one of the reasons why I don't really like my cheap little Jacksons, like my V and all that. It's because I could, even though they were affordable, I could feel it in the quality that they're not really that good. You know what I mean? Like just nicking the guitars like would damage the paint tremendously and would damage the wood. I've bumped my fucking guitar on my desk so many times, my Ibanez, and I have no damage marks on it or anything, no scrapes, no cuts. I gave my guitar a fucking completely wipe down the other day and polish and everything, and I couldn't see anything on it. My girlfriend was like, "Wow, it looks completely fucking different." And I know a lot of guitar companies say that they do that type of shit, but it's like it's not that many. You know what I mean? But like, what I would like to do is there's a guitar company. I can't remember their name. I think it's like Artist Side or something like that. They make guitars through recycled materials. They don't use wood, and their guitars are actually really fucking good. Like a lot of metal bands nowadays use them. Like their 7-string models and 6-string models. I'd like to do something like that. You know what I mean? I'd like to like use recycled materials, or if I'm using wood, I'd like to like use my own wood. As weird as that sounds. I'd like have like my own little tree farm with my like own little exotic woods that I would use. But no, I'd be down. Like I'd be fucking down. I would honestly name the guitar brand after like honestly, instead of paying like going with Dean or some shit to do like a signature model guitar, I would honestly just make release my own signature model. Think about it. Are you making more money being signed with Dean, letting them release one of your signature models, or would you be making more money releasing your own signature model at the same
Your
quality,
own.
if not better? Because the one thing that sucks with getting like custom signature modeled guitars is unless like you're really fucking famous, even if you get a signature modeled guitar, most of the time you're not gonna get treated very well making those guitars or getting those guitars made, unless you're like really talking with like a specific person that really fucking knows what like appreciates your music or at least likes your music. I've heard a lot of stories of people going like just swapping instantly the brands that are making their guitar models, their signature models, just because of how they're being treated, because they're not at like the same fame level as like the big four or some shit when it comes to being in metal or some crap. I also know a couple of guitarists too that got annoyed with how guitar companies were acting and just said fuck it and started their own guitar companies together.
Brutal.
Honestly, I know that I would be buying an original Alexi Laiho modeled fucking signature modeled guitar. I know what you mean. I feel the same way. Why I stay up so late. Honestly, hopefully they don't, so you can sleep in a little bit. It'd be nice for once. Honestly, I'm just, I just hope that we get the place. I'm not gonna expect to get it. I'm not gonna keep my hopes up. I just hope. Like I'll be happy when I actually know that we get it. If not, then I'm not gonna lose my cool over it. It just means that we'll keep looking. Because that's exactly what I told my girlfriend. I'm like, at this point, we just gotta start. And as long as we start applying, we'll get a place somewhere. But I know she messaged like 15 places this weekend, and like only one place responded to say no, that the place was already taken. But it's like me and Claudia said too. Right now, it's fucking difficult to find a place. The minute you find a place, most of the time it's already fucking taken. But from the way things sound right now, man, things seem to be going good. The person seems to like Claudia, and I don't mean like wants to have sex with my girlfriend. I mean like
As a person.
she seems to like be like genuinely happy that she's trying to get out from her parents, and that me and her are trying to start a life together, and that she seems to be supportive. And Claudia doesn't have bad credit, so her credit check should be good. She doesn't have like the highest credit in the world, of course, but she doesn't have any bad credit. And I've made sure too that she's been smart with building her credit. Like she has her credit card and she pays it off every time she uses it, so she's building her credit with that, and she pays her own stuff, so she's building her credit from that, and you know what I mean? So she's doing good. But I just like I just want to wake up tomorrow for her saying we got the place, and I'd fucking like I'd be like, all right, I'm coming down tomorrow. I'm pretty sure me and you would both scream at the top of our lungs. If we were like side by side, we'd probably like fucking like hug and just start jumping in the air, fuck screaming. We're getting out, fuck yeah! As much as I love my parents, man, I just I just want to, I just need to, I need to. It's just how it is. Well, but it's like I told my mom too. You know, I'm not saying what we're doing is the smartest decision, seeing as to how right now there's not really much like secured income coming in other than basically you and Claudia. Like I'm just the biggest liability basically being there. But it's the fact that at the same time, even if things go bad or everything turns into a shithole, the whole thing is a life experience. And even if my parents have experienced things like it, it's not about them experiencing it. It's about me having to experience it myself, so I can learn how to overcome it. You know, I'm not telling my parents that I'm gonna cut them out of my life in these situations. I'm just telling them giving me feedback is understandable, but you don't have to treat me as if I'm already doing the stuff and everything's going the way you talked about it. Because if that's the case, I'm pretty sure I've already said more than enough with them being out here for how I said it. Because everything I told them with them coming out here is basically how it happened. So I should honestly just become a psychic. How much shit have I told you, Sid, and D that's become true? Just D alone, fuck.
Too many things.
Nah, but still, I just want to start doing our own shit. And I'm just glad that the minute I started investing, like the little money that I had coming in, for the little amount of time that I had it coming in into my music career, that you started messaging me back, or not messaging me back, but you messaged me, Dylan, because I've always wanted to do music with one of my best homeboys, and you had no idea how much it fucking killed me when all that shit happened and we couldn't do our crap. You know? And I'm sad to hear all the bad shit that happened throughout that time. But you know what, man? I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're able to say that you survived that. Because there's not a lot of people that can say that and actually mean it. But like I said, man, now it's about keeping yourself going. You got to keep yourself going. You can't put yourself back down, because once you put yourself back down and you go back down that path again, man, that will not be a good day. That'll probably be, well, that'll probably be life ending. And like I said, man, I wanna, I'd like to keep you in my life. I always thought of you as a brother. I like to know, 20 years of my life when I'm, successful in my life or whatever is going on. I can message you or some shit or give you a call or come and give you a visit or some shit and we have our life going. You know, I don't hate my family, but I've had friends that have treated me a lot better than most of my brothers have. I like to at least repay the people that have treated me well in life, if they let me. Well, I don't mean like giving back money. I just mean being able to do my own things to help out. You know what I mean? Like if I had money going, I'd honestly like, for instance, like if we ever signed like a label deal and we made like a good amount, like not like the most amount of money, but like 100K or some shit, I would probably buy myself a little piece of land and I'd probably like um buy my parents a little house or something. Nothing too expensive, you know what I mean? Just like a nice little piece of land. But I'd buy my parents something like that, you know? Because like even me leaving, I stress that my parents won't be all right. But like even me being here, I'm not doing anything. I'm just more of a dent in their pocket. Even if my parents don't see it like that, you know what I mean? It's the whole reason why I never asked my parents for anything in school growing up. Is because of I knew how the financial situation was in my house and how Brandon acted, which never helped. Like even just me and my mom talking about that, we start going, oh man. Like you remember when Brandon used to wake me up so we could go downstairs so he can poke holes in the Christmas presents to see what you guys would get him, so you guys would pack the wrong things to hide his gifts, and he would start fucking crying.
Like a little bitch.
Brandon was oh my god, man. I'd be like asleep and it's like 6 in the morning. Like my parents just went to bed after putting the gifts downstairs, and he's awake already on his console, and he's waking me up with the fucking stockings, and I'm like passed out on the bed with my dog. I'm like just fucking going to sleep, barely sleeping 2 hours. But no, yeah, that was like this year for me for Christmas. I knew what I was getting. I just wanted my guitar, and I told my parents I'm to open my guitar on Christmas. I am taking out my phone that minute, and I am ordering a guitar. Even if they bought me my guitar, I'm like, if I don't have my guitar Christmas Day, I'm ordering my guitar online. And if I would have done that, I would have just lost 15K, because that's how much the guitar I was gonna buy was gonna cost. I was gonna buy myself a really nice Kiesel. I showed it to my dad too, and my dad was like, "Oh, why didn't you ask for that for Christmas?" I'm like, "Because it cost 15 grand." And I didn't even want to ask for a $900 guitar because I thought that was expensive. But the minute you told me Brandon was asking for a fucking almost $2,000 graphics card, I was like, yeah, no, I'll take this then. Because I want to get my music going, and at this point, I need a guitar. My guitar is fucking damaged, and repairing it at this point as much as I could, I don't really have the professional knowledge of that, you know what I mean? So I'd rather have a guitar I can actually play, and then I would be able to work on that. But like I told you, man, once we get in our own place, we'll be able to record the vocals, the guitar, and the bass. The only thing we'll have to figure out is the drumming. But seeing as to how we don't really have a drummer right now, it's not really my worry. Even if we do get a drummer, we can just use microphones to record it. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't mind getting an electronic drum set so we could like do recording like that. But while we're living in an apartment, an electronic drum set would probably be better, just because it'd be a bit quieter for the neighbors. Especially since apparently our neighbors aren't really that loud. But I don't really mind because the whole reason why I did my guitar setup was for the fact that if I got an apartment, I would be able to play my music without pissing other people off because I could use my headset. And even then, like I told Claudia, I still plan on putting a lot of things on the walls and shit like that to soundproof. But honestly, man, I feel like I can't even sleep because I'm too excited. Like I just want to know. I just want the news to already be here. I don't even care if it's Friday already and I get the news. I just give it to me. Same. And that's the good thing too with my girlfriend is my girlfriend is not a bitch. She's quiet and she's shy and she may not be the biggest fan of like metal, but she's always been supportive of me doing my music and she's always known I've been a giant metalhead. It's not something I hide from people. Like even when we started dating, I let her know right away. I'm like, I'm just letting you know I don't listen to much music that you do. I am a metalhead.
Oh yeah, Mr.
And I'm just letting you know because I listen to a lot of metal that has a lot of screaming. So if I listen to any music you don't like, just let me know, and I don't mind pausing it. But like, just note there are times where I will be in the mood where I'm playing guitar, where I'm gonna play music along to it, or I'm just gonna listen to the music because it it's how you know. It's like people that want to just, listen to a techno song or some shit or a hip hop song, you know what I mean? When the new shit comes out, the same way. I like to take a look. But she's pretty good. She's gotten better, and like I said, I was surprised because within the first year of us dating, I got her pretty heavily into System of a Down. I do pretty good at getting people into metal, Sid.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, that's like because of Dylan and all that too.
God, I love being out in the middle of a fucking lake for the last circle.
Honestly, man, once we get together, man, we'll do so much fucking crap. You have no idea. All I know is when I go to the city, the first place I'm going to eat at is Wendy's. Like no, let me phrase this better. When I go to the city for the first time, I'm gonna go straight to a fucking McDonald's probably. Unless I get McDonald's soon out here, because I'm supposed to, from my mom's friend. And if not, me and Claudia will probably do Domino's because we haven't had that in a long ass time. And when you come to the city, the first thing we gotta do to grab something to eat is go to fucking Wendy's. I haven't had Wendy's. The first time I had Wendy's was with you, and the last time I had Wendy's was with you, which was the first time I had Wendy's. And I think I was like, what? 8? 8, 9? I think we just moved to Sky. And I remember you asking if I had Wendy's at all, and I said never, and you flipped out on me because I had never had Wendy's, and you're like, what the fuck? And then you took me there and bought me a burger. And it was delicious, but we just never went there again. So I wouldn't mind. I've seen a lot of their commercials out here, but there is no Wendy's near where I live, so I can't go and try one. Harvey's is alright, but I honestly don't really care too much about them. And you want to know what's apparently still open, Dylan? The Chinese dep that sells poutines. They're still open and they still sell poutines, so we could go and grab one of those poutines, because I haven't had one since I left PC, fuck. Like, when's the last time you had one of those puts-ins, huh? And they make really fucking good puts-in, I'm not lying. So it's just like you guys talk about it so much. You talk about it so much, Devil, I need to eat it.
Yeah.
You will when you come to Canada. You should try coming this summer, though, to be honest, during Poutine Fest. Unless it's already passed.
Mm.
If not next year, if you get your job, you'll take it off. 2 weeks,
Yeah.
you'll come here. I know I have buddies in Europe that want to come try out Poutine Fest. I was actually supposed to do a lot of shit that summer when COVID first hit.
Woo! 9 kills and top of the fucking food chain with an M24 sniper rifle. Suck my cock.